MJZ Comics back with the White Tiger.
Let's start the show. Before we get started, make sure you give this video a like, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of our new videos.
Please and thank you. In this video, we're going to focus on the character, the White Tiger, Marvel's White Tiger. The character's been picking up a lot of steam lately. A lot of the different variations and versions of the White Tiger have been on the hot list. So we're going to try to go over the different White Tigers and the first appearances and some of the key books in the line of the White Tiger. And I got to say, for minor characters, the White Tiger is probably one of my favorite storylines. I love the different books. They have great covers. And without further ado, here is the original White Tiger. This is the first appearance of the White Tiger, Hector Ayala. And this book was done by George Perez, the late, great George Perez. And luckily enough, we have this one signed. And what's cool about this book is George Perez signed it right on the fist in gold ink. Looks really cool. This book is actually a magazine, and it's The Deadly Hands of Kung Fu number 19. It's kind of a rare book, and it's hard to get in high grade. I think there are only 7 or 8 copies of this book in 9.8. So this one you can see is a 9.2 with white pages, signature series, signed by the great George Perez, who also created the character of Hector Ayala as the White Tiger. They came to George and wanted to create a character. And for those of you that don't know, this George Perez is Puerto Rican descent, and he grew up in the Bronx. And he created this character. Hector Ayala was also from Puerto Rico and lived in the Bronx. And Hector Ayala got his powers from the amulets of power, which on some of his books, and actually in all the storylines, he's got that around his neck. And they were originally owned by the Sons of the Tiger, who was a group of men that carried these amulets. And they got frustrated with the amulets, kind of tossed them out, and Hector Ayala came across them in an alley, and he ended up putting all of them on at once, and that's when he actually got his powers as the White Tiger. So kind of a cool story. There's been a lot of different White Tigers down the line. So again, this book we have right here is technically a magazine, and it is the first overall appearance of the White Tiger. And it's specifically the Hector Ayala version, who was the first version created by George Perez. So really cool magazine, hard to find in high grade. Just a beautiful cover with the Iron Fist front and center, punching with George Perez's autograph on his fist. Now Matt's going to show you the next book, which is kind of cool.
This is Spectacular Spider-Man number 9 from 1977. Now, this book is the first appearance of the White Tiger in comics, so a little bit different. Like we said before, his first true appearance is in a magazine.
And one side note I forgot to mention about the magazines is that a lot of the stories that were put in the magazines were considered too violent for the comic code back in the 70s. So they put some of these stories in the magazines. You know, The Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, there was a lot of violent fighting and bloodshed. So that's why those stories were put in the magazines. And then the story of the White Tiger was a little bit violent. If you read that, that was placed in the magazine. And if you remember, the first origin of the Punisher is actually in one of the magazines as well.
This book's a real cool cover. Obviously, you can see Hector Ayala as the White Tiger with the Amulets of Power. And kind of an interesting side note, per our research, Hector Ayala is actually Marvel's first character of Hispanic descent. So kind of a cool little extra thing with this character. Awesome first appearance, awesome cover. We love this book.
Yeah, and it's got him front and center right on the cover. Colors are beautiful with the orange and the eye-popping white. And also, it's a Spider-Man key, so it's just, you can't go wrong with this book. It's a little bit harder to find in the 9.8 grade. This book has come way down in value in the last year or two. I think that this 9.8 you can get now for around $500, which is probably a third of what it was in 2021. The character's picking up steam, as we said, And there's a lot of rumors that the White Tiger is going to show up in the Daredevil Reborn series on Disney Plus.
Next book we have here is Avengers Academy 21. Now, this book is from 2012, and this is the first full appearance and cover of the White Tiger, Ava Ayala, who is the daughter of Hector. So, kind of a cool modern version of the White Tiger.
We've actually mentioned this book in one of our speculation videos. I found these just within the last month in long boxes at local comic book stores. So you might still be able to find it out there. I think it's a great spec book. And like we said, the rumor is that the White Tiger is coming to the Daredevil Reborn series. And a lot of the speculation is that it's going to be one of the female White Tiger characters. So this could be a great book to try to get a hold of before it picks up popularity. The next book we're going to talk about is one of the other female White Tigers, and this character is not related that I know of to Hector Ayala, but is Angela Del Toro, and her first appearance occurs in this Daredevil 58 book. So we have a copy of this. This we've also talked about in one of our speculation videos, but this is Daredevil 58. It's the first Angela Del Toro, who becomes the fourth White Tiger. And a little bonus with this book is this is also the first appearance of the night nurse Linda Carter in the modern age. This is the first Angela Del Toro in comic books. And then we're going to throw a picture up of the White Tiger 1, which is the first Angela Del Toro as the White Tiger. So they kind of go together. This book raw is going for about $10 to $20, and the White Tiger 1, which seems like the market wants to make the more valuable book, in the two Angela Del Toro books, is going for between $30 to $40 raw. A lot of cool speculation on the White Tiger. If you have any comments on White Tiger, if you have anything to add or any questions, please feel free to hit us up at the end of the video here in the comments section. We really appreciate anything you have to say, anything you want to ask us. This is what we love to do. MJZ out.